into how to develop an easy at-home yoga practice. Today, we're going to practice warming up. This practice is short and sweet. Excellent to do first thing in the morning before you start your day. So let's begin. We'll come onto our sticky mat, and if you have sensitive knees, like I do, what you can do is you can take a blanket and fold it and place it in the center of your mat underneath your knees. From here, you can take your hands on the sticky mat, shoulder width apart, with your shoulders over your wrists, and then look down at your knees, making sure they're hip width apart, as well as your feet are hiding behind your knees with your toes pointed. From here, you can keep your head heavy. You can even close your eyes, and then move your hips backward towards your heels. And then you can move your hips forward towards your hands, and your shoulders will probably move past your fingertips. Do that a few more times, moving backward with your hips, your eyes are closed. And then moving forward with your hips, just feeling what comes up, noticing what parts of your body feel tight, what parts of your body feel a little bit lighter. From here, as your hips move back by your heels, you can move your hips over to the right side, and then you can move your hips over to the left side. And you can do this a few more times. And here we are undulating your spine, keeping your head heavy, your jaw relaxed, and we're just simply feeling, tuning into how our body feels today. And then do this on your own. Maybe you like forward and back and then side to side, whatever works for you. Take a moment here and just feel, let your breath be natural. And then very slowly, let's take our shoulders over our wrists, our eyes are open, our knees still hip width apart, so you may have to adjust them back into place. And you'll tuck your toes under, you'll send your gaze forward, you'll lift your hips to the sky, and you'll soften the back of your neck. From here, you'll point your toes and round your spine. Think about a cat. I like to think about the Halloween black cat that's arching its spine in cat pose. And then tucking your toes under, lifting your chin, your gaze up. You may want to think about your little puppy, your dog asking for something and looking up at you. Let's do this a few more times. You'll notice that your body naturally exhales as you round into cat. And then as you open up your chin and tuck your toes under, there's this natural opening, this accordion effect of your ribs opening, taking air in. And then the accordion closing, taking air out as you come into cat. Do this one more time, finding this very easy back bend. Try not to get your eyebrows involved, so soften on your forehead here. And the next time you come into cat pose, stay here, spreading your weight evenly into the base of your fingers, including the base of your thumbs. Then move your hips back to your heels. You may want to separate your knees a little bit wider to make room for your torso. And then drop your forehead down onto the floor and the elbows down. Now, if this is not comfortable, you can come up onto your elbows and you can make gentle fists, taking one fist under the other fist and resting your forehead down on the top fist so that you can have a long neck spine. And just allow your breath to be natural. This is called child's pose. And this posture is an earth posture, where you let your body fall to the ground. And when you let go, connecting to the ground, you'll start to connect to your breath, noticing the gentle rise and fall of your natural breath, with your ribs hitting your inner thighs. So see if you can soften your forehead, release some thoughts that don't serve your practice right now. And travel into the present moment on your yoga mat, watching the gentle inhale and exhale of your natural breath. Watch another natural inhale and exhale. Slowly pressing your hands into the floor, coming onto your hands and knees. That is extremely delicious. So if you notice that during the practice you get tired, simply come back into child's pose, where you can let your nervous system take a break, and then you can join us for the rest of the practice when you're ready. So on your hands and knees, what we'll do is, again, notice the hands are underneath the shoulders. Rather than putting all of your weight into the heels of your hands, can you spread out your fingers, taking the pinky fingers closer to the ring fingers, and pour more weight into the base of your fingers, the back of your knuckles, including your thumbs. From here, we'll extend our right leg back, tucking the toes under. Lengthen through the back of the right knee and come up high onto the ball of the right foot. That's it. And then from here, the back may want to sway. So see if you can lift up your lower belly, gaze forward of your mat. And then from here, you can lift your right foot off the floor. Now, it's very easy for the belly to relax. So you can take your left hand and place it underneath your belly, trying to encourage it to lift. That's it. If possible, you can extend your left arm forward with the thumb up and gaze forward and down of your yoga mat. See if you can take another inhale. Exhale, hollow your belly, and then let yourself destroy the pose, coming back into child's pose. So you can move your hips back, you can reach your arms forward, head is down, or you can keep your head down and reach your arms behind you with your palms up. Again, if you would like to modify, getting more space for your neck and shoulders, you can make gentle fists, elbows move forward and bend as you drop your forehead down. Just take a moment to just release, to let go, watching your natural breath. Very slowly, take your hands, press them back to the floor. Come back onto your hands and knees. Noticing the hands are directly under the shoulders, spread out your fingers, and then take your fingers, your pinky fingers, in closer to the ring fingers. Pouring your weight into the base of your knuckles, not just the heels of your hands. Let's extend the left leg back, tucking your toes under. See if you can walk the left leg back a little bit more, but keep your shoulders over your wrists. So you want to feel light, open space in the back of your left knee, like you're taking the wrinkles out of your pants. And then gaze forward and down of your mat. Take an inhale, lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. As you exhale, draw your belly in and up. Inhale, lift the left leg off the floor. Try not to sink into your shoulders. See if you can hollow the belly, but still inhale and exhale. If your balance feels pretty good, you can take your right hand, place it by your navel, and then begin to lift the navel. Think about wearing a tighter belt on your exhale. From here, very slowly, let yourself release. Fall back into child's pose. If you want to take your knees wider, you can do that. But working a little differently, we'll take our palms to face up. Your elbows come to the floor. See here if you can walk your elbows forward. If they don't let you, you can stay here with your gaze forward and down. Otherwise, as you walk your hands forward, you can drop your forehead down to the floor. Imagine your thumbs moving to the floor. Notice the sensation in the back of your shoulders. Take a moment here to let your breath be natural and feel. Try not to
wonder if you're doing this correctly, but rather closing your eyes and watch. From here, slowly place your hands down to the floor. Come back onto your hands and knees. And we will take our knees hip-width apart. Tuck your toes under. Take your hands to your back pockets, sending your tailbone down. Bring your elbows closer together. They're not going to touch, but imagine they're working towards each other. On your inhale, you're going to lift your chest up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. On the exhale, you feel your hands pushing your tailbone down, opening your front pockets. Inhale, lift your chest, not your chin. Think about your chin as an umbrella for your throat. Exhale, feel your knees pushing down into the floor. Take another inhale here, finding this nice open and easy back bend. Exhale, release, moving your hips back, taking your hands onto the floor, and then bringing your shoulders over your wrists. This time we're going to walk our legs back and lengthen our knees off the floor, coming up high onto the balls of our feet, coming into plank pose. Now, as you're here, if you're feeling shaky and tired, lower your knees to the floor and send your tailbone down, your gaze forward and down of your mat. Otherwise, keeping your toes tucked under, lift your knees off the floor. Again, try to take the wrinkles out of the back of your knees, putting more weight into the base of your fingers, including your thumbs. A lot of the texting and computer work we do makes our thumbs a little lazy and bend, so try to open them up at the joint. Take another inhale here. And on your exhale, if your knees are on the floor, lift them off the floor. Let's transition into downward dog. Walk your feet a little closer in, but still hip-width apart. Take a look at your fingers, make sure they're all pointing forward, thumbs drawing in a little bit closer to the pointer fingers. And then bend your knees, your heels are off the floor, lift your hips. And then you can inhale, lengthen your legs. Maybe your heels, as you lengthen your legs, touch the floor, maybe not. Doesn't matter. So don't worry about that. Just bend your knees, lift your hips high, drop your head heavy. And then begin to lengthen your legs, press your heels down, wherever they fall is fine. Again, bending your knees, so we're doing a down dog opening, and then from here, long legs. Now you decide, what do you like? If you're working with the bent knee variation, I recommend keeping your feet a little bit closer into your hands. I'm going to practice with long legs, so since my heels were touching the floor as I was lengthening my legs, I'm going to walk my feet back. If your hands start to get tired, walk your feet in closer, bend your knees, try not to tuck in your chin or look forward. Just let your head hang in neutral position. Can you watch your breath? Notice where the density is in your body, and see in your next inhale, if you can imagine your breath as your inner winds, that on the inhale, they're picking up the cobwebs of the body, and on the exhale, releasing, sweeping them out of your body. Watch 2 more breaths. Bend your knees at the same time if they're not already. Lower your knees to the floor, and then very slowly, let's bring ourselves to sit. So from here, what we're going to do is take a folded blanket or a cushion. Okay, so if you don't have a blanket, sometimes an oversized bath towel is excellent. And I like to create a shape that looks something like this. And then you come to sit on the edge, and as you're here, you can bend your right knee, place it in front, and then your left foot can come in front, and you just come down.
If your legs are getting tired at any point, please feel free to extend whichever leg needs some more circulation and breath. So as we're here sitting on the edge, we'll inhale, reach both arms up. And on the exhale, we're going to side bend over to the right side. So you can walk your fingers out away from your hip and then gaze to the top arm. Roll that right shoulder onto your back. Take a big inhale, mouth is closed, chest opens. Exhale, drop your left hip down. Do that for another breath. Big inhale, side stretch. Exhale, this time, let's take that left hand either to the knee. I like to place it to the mid-thigh, and then with my right thumb up, I come into a twist. After a breath, I just let that right hand fall to the floor. Try not to lean back into it. See if you can sit up tall. Take another inhale as you puff up your chest like a bird fluffing its chest feathers. Exhale, twist behind you. Reach both arms up, take a big inhale, and then from here, side bend to the other side. From here, you can either take your hand flat to the floor. I like to work with fingertips that will ensure they'll be working gently and not leaning to one side. Gaze up to the inner elbow of the top arm. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, drop that right hip down. Take another inhale, get length, get space. Exhale, tighten through the waistline. Lower that hand down either to the knee or the mid-thigh as you take your left thumb up and you twist behind you, taking your fingertips to the floor. See if you can inhale, puff up your chest. Exhale, wring out your waistline as you twist. Again, inhale, taking in fresh breath, oxygen. Exhale, wringing out your waistline like it's a damp rag that you're drying up. Reach both arms up as you take your inhale, and then exhale, take your hands onto your thighs and bend at your elbows. So we've done some nice openers, even some strengthening postures, and it's great before you start your day to ground, okay? To sit down, center yourself, and allow yourself to have what I like to call a mushy moment. In the yoga world, we call it a meditative moment, but where you just allow yourself to become this open, empty, nothing. You're not a mother, you're not a businessman, you're not going to pick someone up for after soccer practice. You're just simply nothing, a mushy moment. So let's find that by feeling comfortable as we sit. If you're not comfortable, take another blanket and sit on it. Or you could switch the crossing of your legs. Either you can take your palms to face down in the mudra of calm abiding, which will help to bring energy into your body and close circuit your energy. Or if you're looking to receive some energy, you can take your pointer finger and thumb to touch, bend at your elbows with your palms up, and you can either close your eyes or you can look to the floor about 6 feet in front of you. Decide which hand position you're going to work with and just be okay with it. Don't overthink it. And as you're here, feel your left and your right hip, your knees falling, rooting like the roots of a tree deep into the earth. And then your spine, see it as the trunk of the tree, growing to the sky. Feel the center of your chest floating over your hips, the crown of your head over the center of your chest, your hair, your arms, your nose, ears. Imagine them like branches of the tree extending up and out. Now watch your natural breath. having difficulty finding it, you could always place your right hand on your belly, your left hand on your heart. Feel the tidal quality of your breath, rising and falling on its own pace. So right now we're working on concentrating. This is not the mushy moment. We're grounding our body. We're centering. We're concentrating on watching our breath to slow down our mind so that thoughts of what we need to do later, the labels that we give ourselves, disappears. If you prefer to lengthen your breath and watch it so it's louder for you, you can close your mouth and inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. Watching your Ujjayi nose breathing. Eventually, our thoughts will stop us from watching our breath. So you go back to watching your inhale and exhale. And eventually, with each inhale, you will merge your consciousness into the mushy moment, the meditation. Where you'll just be and do nothing. Not be somebody, just a ball of energy that's existing. If your mind is running really fast, watch the breath. That will help you to concentrate. We'll be here for a moment longer. Watch and be. Take notice of your next inhale. Exhale. Release your hands if they're up on your chest and belly to your thighs. Drop your chin down. Open your eyes if they're closed and gaze down. Without judging if you did this right, just feel. And then bring your chin parallel to the floor, gazing forward. So hopefully your mind was able to slow down and you were able to feel the mushy moment, the meditation. If not, you have tomorrow to practice again. So let's come out of our practice slowly. What we'll do is we'll come back onto our hands and knees just for a moment. And then we can walk our hands forward slightly, tuck our toes under, lift our knees off the floor. And then bending your knees very slowly, walk yourself towards your hands towards your feet. With soft knees and a heavy head, just keep your head heavy. You can even rock from side to side with your torso. As you draw your navel in, you push your feet into the floor and you bring yourself to standing, chin parallel to the floor. I'll see you next time.